Hey, what's up? In this video, I want to share my top 5 picks of my favorite libraries of 2023. At least so far. Who knows what's about to come in the future, but so far I've had an amazing experience working with these 5 tools. And even if you just take one away from this video that you didn't know before, it's drastically gonna change the way you write code for the better. You're gonna be faster, you're gonna be writing better code. So let's get into it. Number 1 is Zod. Zod is a schema validation library. And that is super powerful when you're trying to validate user input on the back end, because you can never trust the client to do anything, right? Because literally anything can be manipulated from the client and then sent to your server. And this is awesome for making sure the data that you expect on your server is actually what you process on the server. And if somebody sends some malicious request to your server, you can make sure it doesn't actually go through with Zod. You can define a schema and then parse any piece of data against that schema. And only if that data that you pass into the parsing function actually goes through and it's successful, only then can you work with the data that you're expecting. If it doesn't, this is automatically gonna throw an error. You do not have to worry about that. You only have to catch it and send a response to the user accordingly. Maybe a response that tells them they shouldn't try to abuse your API. Number 2, I've only discovered it this year. It's been around for a bit longer, but man, have I had a good experience working with it. Tenstack Query, or formerly React Query, is, I think, the best client-side data fetching solution. There's alternatives like SWR. I don't want to talk about those because I've had an amazing, superb experience working with Tenstack Query. It's so nice. It's a replacement for the basic fetch that you do in React, right? If you're a beginner, chances are you're fetching your data inside of a use effect, putting it in state and handling all the errors and loading and so on yourself. You do not need to do that anymore, at least with Tenstack Query. All that is handled for you. Loading states, error states, caching, retries, it's all in there. Infinite queries for infinite scrolling. There are so many solutions that Tenstack Query offers out of the box that just work. Number 3, the UI library I've been using this year for all my projects. It's been the best library I've ever used for UI, especially in the front-end department. Super handy. It's called shadcn UI. And basically it's a UI library, but not really, not like Mantine or Material UI. It's way different because what you get is essentially pre-styled accessible components that you can fully customize with Tailwind, what you're already comfortable with. No need for any specific syntax or passing props to change the styles of your components, which kind of sucks and looks bad syntactically. You can just use regular Tailwind to style your components. They're fully accessible. The installation is super easy. You do not need context providers for anything, because everything is styled in Tailwind. It's super handy, and all in all, it's been amazing working with it. Number 4, I'm really thankful this exists, because forms have traditionally always been super hard in React. Not with React hook form. Define a form, define your inputs, register those inputs, and then tell the form what to do on submit. And React hook form becomes super powerful when you combine it with Zod from the previous point. Remember, you can use both together. So what you can do is define a Zod schema and then use it along with React hook form. So the data that gets passed into your function when the form is submitted is exactly of the type that you're expecting. And if it's not, that is going to throw an error on the client telling them the input field is invalid. That is super cool and an amazing addition for a good user experience. And then lastly, very small thing, but a huge payoff. It's a helper function. I included it as a library because after all, it's just combining libraries, but it makes a very small 3 lines of code function out of them that let you render class names conditionally. This is especially useful if you're in Tailwind. You can use it without, but I prefer to do my styles in Tailwind, and conditional classes have never been easier. You can apply the style and then the condition you want to be true for those styles to be applied. Then at the very start, you can define styles that are always applied no matter what happens, so unconditionally, and then your conditional styles below that. It just works. It is a way cleaner approach than doing Tailwind template strings, which don't always work. You used to have to do lookup tables for some properties to actually work. Not anymore with these conditional class names, and it's only 3 lines of code. It's really, really cool. try those out. Those are really cool. If you didn't know one of them, trust me, it's worth getting into it. It's gonna save you so much time. It's gonna improve your code quality. And I just wanted to share these amazing picks because I have had such a good time developing with them. I hope you enjoyed the video, and then I'll see you in the next one. Have a good one, and bye bye.